What is up, veterans? Thank you for tuning into this live stream with me on May 9th. I kind of want to go over the House Committee on Veterans Affairs Chairman Mike Bost released the following statement after President Donald J. Trump signed an executive order to provide better care to our veterans, to improve accountability for such care, and establish a national center for warrior independence for homeless veterans. I'm going to play that video from a news channel in California. We know that there are areas where the VA has fallen short and services can be improved, but business as usual is not cutting it, right? And the American people, including Americans, veterans, voted for change. So long wait times for earned benefits aren't cutting it. A lack of resources for service members to transition into civilian life and ending veteran homelessness isn't cutting it, right? Denied referrals for healthcare and mental health support aren't cutting it. It's time to change the way that the Department of Veterans Affairs works. I agree with that. Wait times, community care wait times to get Champ VA if you're 100% vet, to get the benefits. It's ridiculous, some of the wait times for our claims when people are submitting fully developed claims. It's erroneous and crazy, some of the proof that is being missed on some of the packets and some of the things that veterans are submitting. They're submitting fully developed claim, they're submitting all the proof, and it's not even getting looked at. And then it's wasting another 5 or 6 months of the veteran's time. And then they're having to do a higher level review or another appeal to only find out that, oh gosh, we missed it. So bad, too bad, so sad, while they're under the gun and they cannot work, okay? While they're going through cancer, they're going through a battle because of Agent Orange, it's not cutting it. And I do agree. Times are going down a little bit quicker in 2025 for the processing of benefits for some people. But again, there's no consistency. And I will say this, okay? And I don't know what they're going to do to fix this, but slashing workers too creates and makes for, it makes for more caseload and more workload on the providers, right, in the healthcare of the VA, and for the raiders and people working with the VBA, right? And they get tired. Guess what's going to happen? They get lackadaisical, they get burnout, they end up quitting. They say, bump this. I'm not going to sit here and take on more caseload, because if people are getting cut, and especially from the VBA, then the question is who's picking up that slack, right? And a lot of people over the last couple of years, a lot of raiders and senior raters and adjudicators quit or they retired, which is not good. But I will say this, right? In 2025, up to now, up to the filming of this live stream, claims have been going through quicker, is what I would say. It has went down to about 140-ish days, which is down from where it was at this point last year, okay? But people are being denied referrals for healthcare and mental health support, aren't cutting it. Again, it is time to change the way the VA works, right? And President Trump has said and made it clear that accountability is back in Washington. And that's what Chairman Bost said. With the release of President Trump's action plan initiative for the VA, Secretary Collins, alongside House and Senate Republicans, were saying they will be able to work together to shepherd the agency into a new area that thinks outside the box for the veterans that it serves. So let's talk about the keeping our promise to us as veterans, okay? With Donald Trump signing the executive order to provide better care for veterans, improve accountability for such care, and establish a national center for warrior independence for homeless veterans, the order, what it does, directs the Secretary of Veterans Affairs, Mr. Collins, to establish the National Center for Warrior Independence on the Veterans Affairs West Los Angeles campus. I'm going to show a little bit about that video here in a minute. Homeless veterans in the Los Angeles metropolitan area and around the nation can avail themselves of the center to seek and receive the care, benefits, and services to which they are entitled. Funds that were previously spent on housing or other services for illegal aliens will be now redirected to construct, establish, and maintain the center. The center will promote self-sufficiency through housing, substance abuse treatment, and support for productive work for the veterans housed there. The goal there, right, in Los Angeles is to house up to 6,000 homeless veterans at the center by 2028. The order directs the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development to use vouchers to support homeless veterans with respect to this effort. It instructs the Secretary of Veterans Affairs to restore accountability at the Department of Veterans Affairs. This includes taking action against individuals who have committed misconduct and investigating the previous administration's decision to rehire and reinstate back pay for employees previously fired for misconduct. Another thing the order does that Donald Trump signed is it ensures that veterans will have access to increased options for care, benefits, and services. So this includes reduced wait times. We will see how this goes rolling out forward throughout now and the latter part of 2025, and we'll keep you up to date with this. But we want to see and they're saying that reduced wait times for the Veterans Health Administration appointments through options such as expanded hours, weekend appointments, and virtual healthcare are going to be available. My question is, if you're laying off workers, though, who's going to be working those expanded hours? Who's going to be working on those weekends? Hopefully, people don't get burnt out, because they do. This is a big, tough task, and that's one of the problems of why there's no consistency. Okay. It orders the executive order includes a feasibility study at the Manchester VA Medical Center to expand services to support a full service medical center in New Hampshire. Okay. Treating heroes like they are. President Trump strongly has said that he believes that every veteran deserves our gratitude and that the federal government should treat veterans like the heroes they are. I do agree with that. However, there are things in place, and the workload of things are not really treating us like heroes. So, I got COVID last year, and I went to my personal appointment with the Department of Veterans Affairs, and I actually had to miss it because of COVID back in 2024. And I tried to reschedule that, and good luck. I ended up having to ultimately move to another facility to get the care. When I got to that new facility this year, okay, 6 months later of fighting through that, getting ignored, having to switch VAs, that was their next time available, was March of this year. I went to my primary care doctor. I went to my primary care appointment, and I was given all but 10, 15 minutes to spit out everything that I had going on to them. And it just really wasn't fair. And the lady said it was due to her caseload. So I don't know what they're going to do to mitigate that. And I haven't seen anything better, like quality of care. I'm very grateful for our benefits. I'm not here to complain. I'm a very positive person, but I did not get the care. I did not get treated like a hero when I went to my appointment. And I think various parts around the country, different VA facilities, some are better than others, unfortunately. Okay. Previous administrations have failed veterans by allowing the West Los Angeles Veterans Affairs Medical Center, hundreds of acres in Los Angeles, given to the federal government more than a century ago to help veterans, basically to fall apart. Parts of the property are leased to a private school, private companies, and the baseball team of the University of California, Los Angeles, sometimes at rock bottom prices. Los Angeles has approximately 3,000 homeless veterans, more than any other city in the country, and is accounting for about 10% of all homeless veterans in America. So many of these heroes live in squalor in Los Angeles, and famous, known as Skid Row. The new National Center for Warrior Independence is supposed to and should and will help them, according to the Trump administration and other veterans like them, to rebuild their lives. Okay. So the executive order that Trump signed builds on the historic reforms and achievements of President Trump's first term, which transformed the Department of Veterans Affairs and expanded care and opportunities for our nation's heroes, for veterans like you and I. During his first term, he signed legislation to increase accountability and expand benefits and choices for veterans in accessing care. He also signed legislation to remove thousands of VA workers who failed to give our vets the care they so richly deserve. He created that hotline that you could call and let them know what's up. President Trump improved the efficiency of the VA and modernized medical records, their benefits to get an education at any point in their lives. He eliminated every penny of federal student loan debt owed by American veterans who are completely and permanently disabled. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play and share a video with you guys right now. And this is from Los Angeles. So give me 1 second here. Let me share my screen with you.
Well, today, President Trump signed a flurry of executive orders. One of them has a special emphasis on LA and its massive homeless vets population. If you've ever driven along San Vicente Boulevard in West LA or some of the nearby side streets, you've seen the dozens of tents housing homeless vets near the VA center.
So far, what I've seen, I mean, that's great. That's what we've been trying to get done for years on this campus. And veterans as a whole have been fighting this situation for decades, trying to get more housing built on the West LA VA grounds.
President Trump was busy this Friday in the Oval Office, signing a number of bills, including an executive order establishing the National Center for Homeless Veterans. The center would be headquartered at the VA Center in West LA. Los Angeles has the highest number of homeless vets in the entire country, with estimates of 4,000 unhoused. Rob Reynolds has been an outspoken Iraq War vet, and he underscores the urgent need.
I know for myself and others that have been working for years to get more veterans on that campus, that's what we want to see, to immediately get some temporary housing put on the property, get our homeless veterans off the street, and stop this madness once and for all, because there's absolutely no reason that men and women who served this country and were deployed to combat zones should be sleeping and dying on the streets. The whole idea here is that, you help veterans come in off the street, you help them deal with whatever mental health issues they have going on, disabilities, substance abuse, and get them housed and have programs to help people get back to work.
And tonight, a Democratic member of Congress tells me that they are taking a look at the executive order. They're not sure if shifting the funds from one area to another violates the Constitution. That's because Congress, of course, controls the purse strings.
Tonight, we're learning more details about the man accused of.
All right. So you guys have heard it there. Definitely, we need to combat this homelessness. I hope that this center does work out. I hope that it is a good thing for the Los Angeles area. But I tell you, it's also hard for veterans to work. Some veterans can't work. It's very hard for them to reintegrate back in. And that's why we have to do a better job on the active duty side before transitioning. And that's really, my encouragement is that I hope that while on active duty, that we have people who are there for us during our transitioning time and there to help us upon our transitioning time before we get out, right? That way it mitigates a lot of issues and a lot of things before we transition into our civilian life, because it's not easy when you get out here, and a lot of things end up popping up later and end up coming later into play that we didn't think would ever be a problem when we get out. But then it's found out to us that we have an issue, or we have a knee issue or a back issue or a physical condition or a mental health issue from our time that we served or deployed, and it was never talked about. Now we're trying to go for benefits while we're out here, realizing that it's very hard for us to maintain employment, continue working, and continue and just upkeep with society. It's hard. So I hope that these executive orders help. We will keep you up to date. We will keep you in tune with all this. But hey, stay encouraged, stay in the fight, stay in the know, continue. We all must help out one another. We must all be there for one another. We must continue to just uplift one another and to continue to provide the education and the resources and everything that each of us needs so that we can get the benefits that we deserve and all of that. So a lot of it, I'm glad that they're doing this, but a lot of it is we need to take action. We need to be proactive. We need to help out one another. If anybody does need any help with anything, reach out, let us know. We are here for you, but thank you for your service to our country. I hope that some of these orders that were signed to put veterans first and combat homelessness, I hope that they do work out. We will see as the year unfolds. Right now, some of the care and some of the let go of the workers, claims are going through faster for some people not. However, we will see how it all unfolds, but stay encouraged, stay in the fight. Thank you for your service. I appreciate every one of you guys. Stay in the know, keep on keeping on. And again, thank you for raising your right hand. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.